During the wartime, we never think about escape, leaving our country, even though bomb and thing going on.
Thì sau năm 75 cái hoàn cảnh của đất nước nó ảnh hưởng đến gia đình, nhất là gia đình người Việt Cộng Hòa.
I was very innocent because I thought this is like a travel because we pay for the ticket. My brother came home on one night and said, okay, we're ready to go.
Đi được 2 ngày thì được tàu Thái Lan đó, nó đón, nó chuẩn bị cướp, mà bắt hết 8 đứa con gái.
On the way here, we met other boat people, Malaysian boat people, and they just give us direction. Bidong, Bidong. We don't know what is Bidong. I think we land right there, and that's the old wooden jetty, and we land right there. That's the first time I land into this Pulau Bidong. This place give me a second chance, a second life. Restart everything from here. New language, new culture, no money.
The Malaysian government set March 14, 1989 as a cutoff date to arrive on the island. These former inhabitants of the island have returned to mark its 30th anniversary. One of them is Van Hyung, who was the first from his family to escape to Bidong.
Why we escape first and second and third? Let me explain that. Because you never know you're gonna make it. You don't want the whole family go out and done. And if something happened to one, the other still make another journey.
After the country fell to the communists, Van and his family were sent to work in a camp. He escaped on a stolen guard's boat.
We're lucky. Our boat have oil, gasoline, food. We even have weapons. We started the boat before we stole.
Van arrived in Bidong in late 1978, shortly after the Malaysian government decided to set it up as a refugee camp.
At the time, there was no cement around here. There's just a tent and stick. We see a bunch of them, and a bunch of people on the sand over there where we sleep. So we don't have clothes. We got only one set of clothes, whatever we got for the next how many months. That's from outsider shipping in for gift, you know. 90% of them, they're woman clothes. And yeah, we look like girl, you know, when the sun go down because our hair is long. And we wear woman stuff. Can be pink color too.
These former refugees were back to clean up the gravesites and to offer prayers to those who perished at sea in their pursuit of freedom. Lydia Hashuan Nguyen was 22 years old when she escaped with her brother and sister-in-law. During the 3-day journey, Lydia's boat was robbed by Thai pirates 3 times.
And I remember I was so innocent enough when the first one came, and then I just showed them my ring. The pirate would just show the knife, and then the people started taking that stuff belonging to give it to them. And that was it.
Lydia arrived on the island when its population was at its peak, with 40,000 refugees crammed into a 13-hectare area south of the island.
We came to Pulau Bidong. You don't need to walk. People just push you. You were just like standing there, boom, 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 boom. You're like, suddenly you will go somewhere. That was how crowded it is. I was pushed to the hospital and I slept there. So, and then in the morning I got up and I just realized this is a hospital.
Lydia's brother and sister-in-law sold their wedding rings to buy a small hut.
There's nothing. You just have a base and then 4 sticks in order to keep it stay. That's it. So, and then I bumped into one of my friends, and then he gave me a piece of the cotton, which is very valuable during that time because it's a smooth surface. However, I cannot sleep on it because I have sister-in-law, so my brother took that piece. I'm go back to square one. I don't have it. I still sleep on the branch. It's so painful.
Lydia also met a lady who left together with her, but on different boats.
I didn't know anything, so I say, man, we were so unlucky because we got robbed like 3 times and blah, blah, blah. And I was complaining. So, and then she say, that was it? And I say, yes. So how was your journey? And she say, we got robbed 8 times, and raped 8 times. And I say, what? So that was the time that I was really like the danger there. Yeah, because I don't know anything prior to that conversation. And I felt so sorry for her.
Hùng có dự định, thật sự mà nói là Hùng có dự định vượt biên là bởi vì gia đình của Hùng bên ngoại đó là người Việt gốc Hoa.
Hung Lee's first attempt was in June 1975 when he was just 9 years old. He tried every year for the next 13 years before succeeding.
Thì vô tình đó là một cái chuyến đi rất là vô tình, là người em của Hùng là được gia đình đưa đi vượt biên, thì người em của Hùng mới là không đi. Thì Hùng về nhà, khi mà Hùng về nhà, Hùng giúp cho cái gia đình của người chủ tàu đưa mấy con ra ghe, thì Hùng lại là người lên ghe đi.
To pass his time in Bidong Island, Hung Lee often went fishing in the Zone F beach.
Và mỗi buổi sáng mà sau khi mà đem lưới về bán cá, tắm rửa xong đi ra lại để mà ngồi thiền, thì mình chỉ nghe được cái mùi tanh của cái xác thôi. Những cái mùi tanh mà mình cảm nhận được trong cái đêm hôm qua hoặc là cái sáng đó bắt đầu mình mới đi tìm. Mình đi tìm thì mình thấy là có những cái hài nhi rất là nhỏ, những cái baby rất là nhỏ, cỡ này có, hoặc là cỡ này có. Sau này thì mình mới hiểu ra một điều là có những người họ bị hải tặc Thái Lan hãm hiếp, họ bị mang thai.
Hung Lee made a vow to return to give a proper burial to the infants after he had resettled. He stayed on the island for 2 years before going to Canada. More than 1.6 million Vietnamese were resettled between 1975 and 1997. Many had to endure the treacherous journey at sea. Lam Son Thak was 17 when he left Vietnam. His boat was robbed by Thai pirates and the women were abducted.
Tại vì có đứa em cũng gần nhà đó, nó đi có 13 tuổi thôi. Nó cứ kêu anh Út cứu em mà mình kéo lại nó đòi cắt cổ mình luôn. Trước khi nó tha đi á, thì nó vô cái nền máy của mình á, nó phá rồi. Nó phá không biết làm gì mà tại sao mà quay không được nữa.
Thak's friend Hoang left Vietnam a day after them. Unfortunately, they ran into the same Thai pirates.
Cái thấy mấy người này nè, nó bắt 8 người đó ra đứng cho mấy người này thấy ồ sao quen quá, cái mới tập vô nó bị bắt luôn đó. 18 nữa là chết hết mấy người tại chỗ. Dạ, cũng như là chống cự nó.
I feel bad when you talk to me about the 14th of March. Sometimes I don't want to remember that day. It is hurt for us. All of us, we try to make it louder, to ask the boat come in early, come in faster before the midnight. And then that night looked like we didn't sleep. Right? We don't care about the curfew time either.
Việt Nam thì nó cũng bình thường thôi. Bây giờ về thì bây giờ chuyện gì nó qua để qua hết luôn. Ước nguyện của mình á, cũng như là cứ qua đây mà ví dụ nếu mà mình được thông thả như tiền bạc hay này kia gì đó, mình có cứ mỗi năm mình qua đây thôi. Mình muốn cứ làm được mấy cái phần mộ hay này kia, mình cái đó là cái niềm vui của mình đó.
There were fierce protests in Malaysia against the forced repatriation.
Not protest Malaysian government, but protest is mean like we want to go to the third country. We don't want to go back home. No, we want to let Malaysian government and the UN to know us not to want to go back home.
Vinh returned to Vietnam in 1996.
And when we get home, so we have to transfer to they call a holding center for 3 nights. And at that time, the communist Vietnamese, so they interview us a lot.
Thanks to a humanitarian operation by the US to help those involved with the former regime or who worked for the USA, Vinh finally made it to Louisiana, where he now lives with his wife and 2 children. The resettlement process varied case by case. For some, it took months. For others, years. Lydia was in Bidong for 4 months before being resettled to California.
They didn't have a chance. So I think we were lucky, very lucky.
Van stayed for 11 months before going to Georgia to live with his aunt and her American husband.
It's tough, it's hard, but we wait for the day that we can leave the island and go to the third world country, somewhere that we start our new life. I like to see the whole wide world without border. If the person don't know the history, I don't think they are person anymore. Unfortunately, in Vietnam, they try to destroy the history of Vietnam itself. I hope what we've been through, what I told you, how bad, how good, I hope younger generation look at us. Hopefully, the history won't repeat. Treat each other like a human, please.
When Bidong Island was closed as a refugee camp on 30th October 1991, more than 250,000 Vietnamese had passed through or resided in the camp. It was the highest number out of all the Vietnamese refugee camps in the region. Today, Bidong Island serves as University Malaysia Terengganu's marine research station. Tourists can also make day trips to the island.
Cho nên qua những việc mình làm, mình chỉ muốn là một cái người đầu tiên để hé mở để mà các em tiếp tục tìm hiểu và các em thấy là hiểu được cái lịch sử, một phần của cái lịch sử thuyền nhân Việt Nam mình về cái phần ở Pulau Bidong. Nhưng mà ngoài cái đó thì cái chính của trong cái mục đích của mình là muốn cái cộng đồng người Việt, những người đã từng trở lại Bidong có dịp quay trở về thăm lại cái chốn cũ. Nó giống như là một cái cánh cửa đầu tiên để mà mình bước vào một cái thế giới tự do vậy.